watching Life in Law with David and Ella Ham. This podcast is for general informational, educational, and entertainment purposes only and is not legal advice. David Ham is a Florida licensed attorney and member of the Florida Bar. Ella Ham is not an attorney and serves as the non-attorney office manager of Ham Law. Listening to or interacting with this podcast does not create an attorney-client relationship, and prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome. This podcast may be considered attorney advertising, and the hiring of a lawyer is an important decision that should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Hello everybody, my name is Ella Marie and I'm coming to you from the law office of David Liam Jr. PA. And today we have our two wonderful legal assistant and paralegal lead legal assistant with us. They're going to introduce themselves in a few minutes, but we want to say thank you to all of the viewers, and then we really appreciate the fact that you tune in to listen to our show. And before we go any further, I would love to introduce Matthew Bird. Matthew.
Hello, Miss Ella, and hello, viewers. My name is Matthew, and it is my pleasure to be the lead legal assistant / paralegal here at Ham Law.
Okay, and then we also have Miss Erin. Miss Erin, you want to say hello to everybody?
Hi, as you heard, my name is Erin, and I am another legal assistant here at Ham Law.
Okay, great. Erin and Matthew handle all of the cases. I would say that for the legal assistant. So he is the liaison between Mr. Ham and the cases. So you give all of the updates, and while the legal assistant are working in all of the cases, we just have a few questions for them. Matthew, tell me a little bit. I know you were the number one. I don't want to say number one, but you are one of the first people we hired when we first opened the firm over there.
The Everbank building, and now we are at Water Street.
Yes,
Yes.
We are at Water Street. So tell me a little bit about how you feel about the cases, what's going on in the progress of all of the cases.
Well, that's a very complex and loaded question, but it's been really great being able to kind of not take a backseat, but guiding the other legal assistants and being able to play support for Mr. Ham, do whatever he needs, and being able to lend a guiding hand and directing all of the cases. And I think we're moving, and every day we're learning new stuff, we're exploring more, growing, and I think it's great.
Awesome. You have to tell the viewer as well, you are a future lawyer.
Yes, I am starting my 2L year at Jacksonville University, and been very exciting. It's been a long time dream of mine to become an attorney. So,
So Matthew, in your experience, you went from being the legal assistant directly working with clients to experience working more with the other legal assistants in the firm. And how would you describe that transition?
So, well, at the time, when I had been promoted to become the lead legal assistant, at first I still had my own cases, and so I was balancing both helping the other legal assistants and handling my own. But then we had the opportunity to personally train Erin to take over my own cases, and so that allowed me to smoothly transition from handing off my own cases and being able to, since I had that experience training her and working with the others, to become fully dedicated to working with the other legal assistants and filling in gaps.
Now, you also have experience directly working in the courthouse as well, right?
Yes, right now I have the wonderful opportunity to intern in the Duval County Law Library at the courthouse.
What other experiences have you had that you think have helped in your performance here at the firm?
Well, I have had the opportunity to intern with State Senator Clay Yarborough, who represents part of Duval as well as Nassau County, and in his office, I got to see some of the behind the scenes of how laws are made, and so that increased my pre-existing interest in the law, and also for a long time, I had the opportunity to work at Chick-fil-A as a team trainer, which helped me develop my training skills that I've been able to utilize here.
Great. And so today's show is about the Constitution, and we're talking mostly about the United States Constitution, but you've had experience in Tallahassee dealing with making of Florida laws and any experience with Florida Constitution?
Not really, but I mean, recently I was able to attend a talk from the Chief Justice of the Florida Supreme Court, and he gave a talk about the process of how a current amendment, proposed amendment, that's going to go on the ballot this year, and that was.
Matthew, you have done so much, and we greatly appreciate your effort and everything you bring to the table. So we have Erin we have to talk about today too. So Erin been with us for about, like I would say now, almost a year and a half, right? If I may say.
Yes, ma'am.
When Erin started, she was, you remember that, David? She was a
started in the front.
receptionist. Oh my God.
And now
was,
she's here.
And then when she came, she was hungry to learn. She wanted to know about the law. Erin is going to school to become a neuroscience with all of the number behind it, which I cannot say. But the fact of the matter that she took her time to learn the law. When she come, she didn't know anything about the law, but she make herself, I'm gonna understand it. I have to say she's one of the best we have here. She loves contract. Whenever we have a bunch of things to be read, we give it to Erin because she will pay attention to it. So Erin, I want to say thank you for being here with us. Anything you want to say to the viewers?
Well, first, I want to say thank you for having me. This has been a really fantastic opportunity to work here and develop all of my professional skills. I'm learning a lot of really, really valuable life traits and skills. Even if law isn't necessarily where I want to end up, it's still an experience that has given me quite a few assets, and it's an experience that I will be taking with me for the rest of my life.
Erin, we recognize that you bring tremendous skill with you as well from your backgrounds in science. Do you find that your background in science and your reading skills and so forth have helped in performing as a legal assistant?
Well, because of my degree path, I do have a lot of statistical analysis experience and stuff like that, and I have to review quite a few scientific articles and things like that. And so I do feel like it's definitely an asset. There's a lot of terms and things like that that other people might not be quite so familiar with, and certainly the analysis portion has been aided heavily by my background with the sciences. So I do enjoy, as Miss Ella said, reading through contracts and trying to find the loopholes and everything.
Yes, she's our loophole ladies.
And what about your interactions with clients? And can you describe some of the things that you do to facilitate their cases or providing information, et cetera? Help the audience understand what your role as a legal assistant is.
Yeah, so legal assistants basically serve as the bridge between the clients and the attorney. With the amount of clients we have, Mr. Ham just cannot spend all day, every day on the phone with everybody, unfortunately. So, it's our job to be keeping up with new things that are getting filed, alert Mr. Ham to the deadlines and everything, and to make sure that our clients are happy and communicated with throughout their legal process.
Well, we thank you very much for all that you do.
People are not numbers. We don't want to be numbers. We want to know you by name. We want you to be able to understand your life. We invite you to the office to communicate with the client. And we have clients this morning. You had client crying a shoulder, right? So can you tell me a little bit about those clients who come? They want to talk to you and then crying to your shoulder is because you opened the door for them to be vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't want to give away too many personal details, but you absolutely, as a legal assistant, build a rapport and a relationship with the people that, we're talking to every week. And I think that's a really important bond because it helps the client be able to trust the firm to know that they have people on their side, So I love my clients. I appreciate the relationships I can build with my clients. And even when I know that it's time for them to be transferred to the other side, I know that the other people are going to do a fantastic job, but it's hard to let go of the relationships I've built.
I agree. You really want to say thank you guys for taking the time to introduce yourself, to talk to the client. Like we usually say to our client, we open the door, they are welcome to come in. So this is our life. You spend more time with us than you spend at home, literally. So except Matthew, because Matthew spends a lot of time at school and then
law
he come
school,
here.
And the
So
library.
and library and come here. So you really spend more time with us. So therefore we call it, as I always say to you guys, we are a family business, not a blood related business. We do have a few more legal assistants who's supposed to come. We have Diamond, we have Maydeen, we have Manuel, and also our front desk as well. Her name is Ryan, who's gonna come. Like I say, we speak multiple languages at the law office of David Liam Jr. PA. So we are here to help anybody. Matthew and Erin, I want to say thank you for taking your time to come and say hello to our client.
Thank you for having us.
Yes, thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. So, as you see, we just had our two of our legal assistant here. They were here to introduce themselves so you can see what exactly they do or the office is function. So as I usually mention to you guys, our legal assistant is like an assembly line. Everybody have to do their job in order for the job to be completely accomplished and completed. So that's what it is. When we have a case, after David did the consultation, he come to me. From me, he go to the legal assistant. From the legal assistant, they are the liaison and David to make sure like all of the dates, all of the thing that needs to be done is done for the case, for everything to go very smoothly. Today is our 6th episode, but before we go any further, I'm gonna have to introduce my co-host, Mr. David Ham, which is my also my husband, as well as the owner of the law offices of David Liam Jr. PA. Mr. Ham.
Well, thank you for the introduction. And so it's always a team effort here.
Exactly.
In legal practice and society has changed in such ways that the old days of just the lawyer and the client has transformed, and that it takes a team effort to accomplish what needs to be done. No person is an island, and
Exactly.
the same is true in law. So here we are with our Life and Law broadcast. I'm looking forward to your questions. Having the assistants on is partly in response to your responses to our earlier
Exactly.
shows.
They asked for it. They did. They did
Exactly.
ask for it.
You asked for it, now you're
You
getting it.
got it.
So
So
little by little, you're starting to see that it's not just the
full
two of us,
house.
but we have a very effective team here.
Exactly. So when we started, it was just two of us in one office, to the point that if you're making a phone call, I cannot make a call because the commotion, the cacophonic noise that was
I
going on.
remember those days.
So
Those days are behind us.
now we have a 3,000 square feet, almost more than the office. We are able to hire legal assistances and other
It's actually
people to be
5,000 square feet.
5,000 square feet. Okay, sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
So today we're going to talk about constitution. So your constitutional right, civil right, federal court, and all of those things, we're going to talk about it. We may not be able to finish the whole show. However, like I said, we're going to go right back and start all over again. So until we go with the same question we have, we're going to continue them. Thank you very much for tuning in. Let's start with the show. So Mr. Ham.
So, Ella, we just celebrated the 4th of July, the Independence Day for the United States of America. So I thought it would be appropriate for us to discuss the foundational law of the United States of America, which is the United States Constitution. So we've put together some questions that have been out there. We didn't tell the people last time when we were talking about civil litigation, what the next show necessarily was going to be.
I think we did. We did tell them it's gonna be a continuation of the civil litigation, and you just add a twist to it, adding the constitution right.
Well, yeah, so constitutional law does generally fall within that area, but it could be also your criminal constitutional rights as well. So this show is going to address primarily those that are civil, but also some of the criminal constitutional rights when it relates to search and seizure, etc. So it's going to be an interesting show today.
I agree. So the first question they have is what exactly are constitutional right?
Okay, great. Let's start there. So the Constitution of the United States is the document that defines the power of the United States. This is, we have a government of limited powers, and even though it may seem that those powers are unlimited, but the government has only the powers which the Constitution says it has. And then when the country was formed and the Constitution was established, there was further limitation needed to protect the rights of the people.
So what about you mentioned that it protection with against the government. You also mentioned that the right is not a gift of from the government, is your constitutional right. But the second question go right back with the question you just asked. It said that why should ordinary people, like people who are not attorney, care about constitutional right?
Well, the name of this show is Life and Law, and because we live our lives under a system of laws, and the fundamental law of the United States is the Constitution. It impacts all areas of your life. It impacts your ability to speak freely, and what controls the government might have as far as that. Privacy rights, your rights in your relationships with other people, a whole myriad and host of rights and relationships, including even your employment, are impacted by your constitutional rights.
So, what is the biggest misconception people have about constitutional right?
Well, people often think that the constitutional rights apply to other people besides the government, and the constitutional rights, those contained in the Bill of Rights, refer to government action. There has to be some state actor that is causing the violation. So I think that would be the biggest misconception that people have about constitutional rights.
Can the government official validate constitutional right?
Well, that's what this is all about, and then that's what my last answer was, is that only the government, it's the government that is violating the constitutional rights of individuals.
So, what they can do when that is validated?
I'm sorry, what's the question?
When the right is validated like that, what exactly the remedy, what they can do for that?
So it depends on the violation, and there are a number of recourses that can be had through a suit in the federal courts, or in Florida, the state courts are also authorized. However, what ends up happening many times is that the case, because there is a federal question, ends up removed to federal court. So that's one of the bases of jurisdiction in the federal courts, is that there's federal question jurisdiction. So even the courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. The federal courts are courts of limited jurisdiction. There has to be one of their enumerated powers that authorizes the lawsuit. And removal jurisdiction is one of those.
So people can sue the government then.
It depends on which government you're talking about. So there's a principle called sovereign immunity in which the government essentially has to give permission to allow people to sue itself. So that's one of the reasons why federal lawsuits can often be complicated, and these cases involving civil rights and constitutional rights can be extremely challenging because of all of these nuances, including the fact that the government essentially has to allow you to sue it.
Interesting. So the question I do have for you now, what is the difference between a civil lawsuit and a federal lawsuit?
Well, in federal court, the suit can be civil, it can be criminal. And so I don't think the question is the difference between a civil lawsuit and
So what is the difference between
Federal.
a civil lawsuit then?
in federal court, you can make a civil lawsuit, like we had in our previous show, that's about an interest that's non-criminal. It's something that was a violation that doesn't carry the stigma of a crime. So that's civil. And it can be in state court, it can be in federal court.
So that is the question was.
Now, if
what
you're
is a
asking about a
lawsuit?
civil rights lawsuit in
Yeah,
particular, we're talking about the violations of the protections against the constitutional rights of a person. So this the rights of the people against the government when the government violates, or some actor acting on behalf of the government violates those rights.
As you can, we did say that we were gonna go with the rapid fire question, but we forgot to mention the nugget question. Are you ready for the nugget question?
Sure, why not?
Remember that if you know the nugget question, you need to call us at 904-307-3888 to give us the answer. And then, like I mentioned the last time, we'll be giving a gift card to anybody who answered the nugget question of $10. The gift card can be a Starbucks, Dunkin' Donut, boba tea, or any Target. Also, if you prefer something else, let us know. We'll be glad to prepare that gift card for you. So the nugget question is, what is the Sixth Amendment right?
Well, most people are familiar with the Fifth Amendment right to remain silent, but I won't be silent right now, and I'll tell you that the Sixth Amendment is the right that has to do with jury trials in criminal cases. So it's the right of the accused to have a speedy and impartial trial by a jury of their peers. Also includes the right to counsel in those criminal cases, and that is the essence of the Sixth Amendment.
So that was the nugget of the day. People don't know. People know my First Amendment right, but my Fifth Amendment right. But now you tell them a little bit about the Sixth Amendment right. So thank you very much for that. So let's go to our rapid fire question. You ready?
I think so.
Okay, great. Federal or state court?
Well, it depends. Depends on the case and the controversy.
Constitution or statute?
Well, usually both.
Trial or statement? Or trial or settlement? That's what I meant to say.
Well, it depends on what really serves the client the best. It's what's in the best interest of the client.
Most important courtroom skill?
Well, preparation, and then after that, I would say listening.
Okay. Best evidence?
The best evidence is reliable evidence.
Oh, good. Biggest litigation mistake?
Well, the biggest mistake in litigation could be waiting too long.
Okay. Are you ready for our 5 questions?
Sure.
Okay, let's do it. Myth or fact? If my constitutional rights were violated, I automatically win.
No, unfortunately, that's a myth because there are numerous hurdles to overcome in order to be able to win.
Federal court always take years.
Not necessarily so. Depends on what's involved in the case, and it also depends on the courts and the backlog the court may have. But it's not necessarily going to take years, but it really depends on a number of factors.
That's a myth.
It's a myth.
Okay. Every government mistake become a lawsuit.
That is also a myth. It's not merely mistakes that government make, but violations that are recognized under clearly established law. Usually it's the case. We have to show that it's clearly established law.
Okay, because the Constitution protect everyone equalities.
I would say that that is a fact.
Okay. Knowing your right can help you avoid bigger problems.
Also a fact. Clearly a fact.
We want to take the time to say thank you to everyone who take their time of the day to watch our show. Either you are listening in your car, at your job, wherever you're listening to us at. We want to say thank you for taking your time to do that. And then we hope that today's show made constitutional right and federal court a little bit less intimidating. What do you think?
I think our show isn't simply about talking about the law. It's to help people have a better understanding of their rights and to take the actions that would best protect their rights.
Yes. Next episode is going to be we will be talking about appeal. The time limit for your appeal, what is an appeal, and all of those things. Send us your questions. We'll be glad to present it. The show is about your questions. It's not about the show. We answer the question that you send out to us. Again, thank you very much, guys. Until next time, you have a good day.
Your justice, our mission. When life's challenges come your way, you need someone to light the way. At David Lee.